Today's video finds us over here in front of a temple that I haven't been to in a long time. Last video I made over here was almost 2 years ago now, and we're at Wat Kudee Dao. This is a fantastic little temple. It's just off of the road. You're kind of east of the main island of Ayutthaya, and the origins of this temple are not exactly known all the way. They believe it was built on another temple that goes all the way back to before Ayutthaya, goes back to the Dvaravati settlement. So there were probably a series of temples here in this area. There was probably the Dvaravati, then probably the Khmer settled in here, and then later the Ayutthaya kingdom came in and settled in this area. This temple here, the last time it was renovated was, I think, 1711, just a little while ago. And it's got some really cool stuff. We're gonna look at, there's a 2-story building here, then we'll go inside of the wall, and then we'll look at the buildings inside of there and have a good time here. So this is the first building that we'll look at. It's outside of the temple walls. And then we'll go in and we'll look at the base of that Chetty, and then we'll look at the 2 buildings that are in here. The first thing that you see is this fantastic wall. Most of the walls have collapsed down, but this one is in great shape. You can see how the styling is. See the plaster work around, the arch. All these old Ayutthaya temples would have had these, and they would have been plastered. It would have been whitewashed like this here, and it would have had all this detail. It would have been fantastic. All right, so this over here was the hall that the king resided in while they were renovating it. And they say when this was finished renovating that they held a 5-day festival over here. This temple here is just great. It's unknown almost completely to people outside of Ayutthaya. And it's not too far from the railroad station and Wat Mayong, but people just don't know about it. The Thais come over here, but you don't ever see a tourist in this area. You can see the little lotus styling of the windows. It would have had a porch out over the side. And then let's go up these stairs and look at it. Then it would have had this here, and this would have been like a floor over here, and you would have been able to access it from down below. And it is Thailand, so safety first. You just have the stairs that go to absolutely nowhere. And then this is inside of the hall. Yeah, this is really, really cool. So these would have been support beams. And then you would have had a false floor here, and you would have had the 2nd story up above here. Yeah, this would have been really, really nice. And it would have been cavernous. But now it's just open air. All right, this is cool. Let's go into the temple itself now. So from up here, you can see over the wall. So there's the Chetty, the top's down here on the ground, and then the 2 halls to the east and to the west of that Chetty. This building here is still in fantastic shape though, for what it is. I mean, this was all abandoned after the fall of Ayutthaya. So 1767, everything here was just left to the elements. So it all collapsed down. So the fine arts department would have came in, they would have shored up some of these walls, and they just left it in the condition that it's in. Yeah, they're calling this building the Tumnak Kumalane, and it's 14.6 meters by 30 meters. And King Borommakot came and he stayed here for 2 months while he was inspecting the renovations of this temple. Yeah, this is a nice look at that building. So this was renovated in 1711 during King Tasai's reign. And it was the deputy king, King Borommakot. He's the one that was the king in waiting, and he's the one that oversaw this. And he later became the king after Tasai died. So this part of the gate, the archway is gone. So this wall would have been decorated with the lotus that you see up there, and it's 102 meters by 142 meters. It's just absolutely massive. And inside of here you have some of the little Chettys. Over here is like a shrine and stuff for the Thais to come. And then we have this hall here, and then there's that prong. Let's look around in here. This is really, really nice. So this Chetty here is completely gone, just down to the base. You can see it has the 12 corners though. That would have been a styling of the late Ayutthaya. So whenever it was renovated in 1711, that was probably added. You can see the styling above the windows. Oh, this hall is just massive. And it is bowed in the middle like a boat that you see. And then this Chetty would have had a bunch of smaller little Chettys all around it. So if this was built on the top of another temple, they would have used, you know, there's probably laterite stones down here in the foundation. And then here we have the Buddhas. And then check out the size of those columns. And they have the lotuses up top. Oh, this would have been just absolutely massive. This would have been a sight to see here if you would have been able to come in here whenever it was functioning. And then there's like a faux window there. And then I'm not sure what they would have had here. Don't know if they would have had water in front of the Buddha images. But this is really, really nice. The windows are, or the walls are bowed a little bit. So maybe one of these days it'll come crashing down. But these columns are huge. So you can just see these things are 4 or 5 foot across. I don't know, they're big. They're huge. And then the lotus above the door. Yeah, this is really cool. So let's look at that Chetty. Now, what I've heard about this temple is the Thais believe that there's ghosts here. The name is Wat Kudee Dao, which is the monastery of the star. But the Thais believe that they see ghosts and stuff over here. And there's a story about an American and a Thai that got together and they tried to find some buried treasure here at this temple. So what they would do is they would send they had one of those machines that sends like sonar waves down into the ground. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they would send it down and they would locate a relic or something important down in the ground, and then they would dig and there would be nothing there. And then they would send another wave down and that relic would be in a different location. And they would go over to it and dig again, and then they would send out find nothing and send down another sound. And it would always move whenever they were digging. So it became kind of like something that was haunted here. And then they say that that American died like penniless, and the Thai also ended up being completely broke. And they paid some money to a government official that he ended up getting fired and died without any money. So it's bad luck to come over here and dig around in this temple, I guess. Got some Thais that are over here. Now there is a temple right over there also that's right across the way. That's pretty cool. You can stop there, take a couple pictures, and then come over here and look at Wat Kudee Dao. So you have parts of the Chetty over there. This is the spire that fell off, and it's right here next to the Chetty. And it would have been quite something if you were here whenever it fell down. You can still see some of the styling around the base, but it's in pretty bad shape now. And then this would have probably had like a rail around it. Yeah, this would have been really nice with smaller little Chettys here. One more look at this little Chetty here. So this is a Mon style Chetty, and it would have had 8 small little stupas around it. And then you would have had another big stupa here. Now, I don't know how tall it was whenever it was built, but it was part of the renovation in 1711 when it was added. All right, so let's look at this last little hall here. You can see the styling above like on the corners right there. And it has 2 doors here, and then it would have had a Buddha image right there in the middle. So this Wihan right here is 14 meters by 27 meters. And you can see a little bit of the styling that's left around the base here. So this would have been all the way around it, little leaves, and this would have all been plaster. I don't know if they would have had anything in between here. It's hard to say. And then this would have been a porch These Ayutthaya style buildings had this like slanted porch here, and it's really great whenever you see them intact. And then in here, this would have had like the red ceiling. It has 3 windows on each wall and some more of these giant columns. And then this would have been the base here for the Buddha. It looks like they would have had a standing one right here also. And then here is like an ordination stone that they just have here. And then these would have been some figures on the outside. This is kind of wavy. You can see how the foundation of it is settled. Ah, this would have been great. Yeah, I really, really enjoy walking around these old halls. I prefer them where they've renovated them and they've restored them to where you can still see everything. But when you see a ruin that's in this good a shape, it's still fun to go and walk around in. Yeah, I found this one purely by accident the first time I ever came over here. And it's a little difficult to get to if you're just on the main island. Best way to get over here is by motorcycle, or you could hire a tuk-tuk. From the train station, it's a little bit of a haul to get over here. The road is kind of crazy. Thai roads never go in a straight line. You gotta kind of curve all around. So you gotta go around some ponds and stuff like that to get over here to it. And then this would have been the front porch on the west side. Yeah, this would have been great. And then it would have had another image right here on this porch. And then these would have been columns. And then over here is the outer wall. And then you can see how it was built. It's got quite a few gates and they're in just remarkable condition. Take a look at it from the outside. So you can see how massive these halls were. And it would have been bowed in the middle like the Chinese ship. And then some more Chettys, all of that out here. So I don't know where the monks would have stayed, but whatever monk quarters they had were made out of wood, so they're long gone to the elements. Out here is kind of like the Chetty boneyard. You can see all the brick and mortar that would have made up those, and parts of the spire, stuff like that, and more over there. And one more look here at that center Chetty. Yeah, the Mon styling is really nice. When you see this, it would have been really cool. I've seen a few of the Mon Chettys, like around Kampeng Pet, places like that, and I really enjoy seeing these when they're in, you know, restored condition. And then you can see that other hall over there. Here's a good look at that spire on the top of the Chetty. So this would have been the very, very top up there, and that would have been right at the top of the bell. You can see how it was constructed with the brick. A lot of times they'll put filler, they'll put either dirt or like rubble and stuff like that on the middle, and then they'll put these bricks on the outside. So that does weaken them whenever the base gets cracked or whatever and lets moisture in there. If it's just got filler, then the Chetty can collapse like this. And that's a nice look at that hall right there. You can see several of the locals come over here to take a look at this temple. It is pretty popular with the Thais that want to come over here. So that's going to finish up our video over here at Wat Kudee Dao, or Monastery of the Star Dormitory. This is a nice place. I really enjoy coming here. It's like I said at the start, this has been almost 2 years since I came over here and made a video. So I was kind of in the area, so I decided, hey, I'll go over there and take a look at it again and enjoy coming here and stomping around in the ruins. Anyway, I'll try to fly the drone. There's quite a few trees here, but I should be able to get some drone shots so you can see kind of what it looks like from up above. This is a cool place. This is something that, you know, the tourists don't know about, but the Thais do. They come over here. There's quite a few of them walking around through the ruins, and they come here and they pray and do all that stuff also. And it's got a lot of meaning to them, and it is famous for like ghosts and stuff like that that I told you a little bit about earlier. So anyway, if you like the video, make sure you smash like and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. That's what I do. I show you things that I see and tell you a little bit about what I know. So if you like this kind of stuff, then definitely subscribe, stick around, and you're notified when I post a new video. And leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you've been here or if you have any questions, let me know. It's to the east of the island. It's kind of over here, you know, away from where all the tuk-tuks and tourists are. So you could get over here if you hired a tuk-tuk. Wouldn't be too much of a problem. They'd bring you right over here to it. or rent a motorcycle, put it in the GPS and come over here and find it. You'd enjoy it. If you come over here, I would recommend it. And definitely smash the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment. And until next time, from over here at Wat Kudee Dao, or the Monastery of the Star, remember, life is a journey. Till next time, enjoy.